So Data is, am I right? What's up with them?
Do you mean the handsome android from Star Trek New Generation?
Oh God, he's such a handsome android. Like much more handsome than my previous fonts. All of them combined.
Do you guys track your datas?
What do you mean by data?
Yeah, I really like.
Elif focused us back to the topic.
Yes.
Elif isn't in mood for bullshit.
I don't think you can say that.
I haven't said that. Elif isn't in the
Horse.
The problem isn't the wolf.
Should we like try again?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this start.
Yeah, let's try again.
Okay.
Tracking your data every day. Am I right?
That was so natural.
Wearing watches and stuff.
People be people. Am I right?
we sound like we're recording an episode on gunpoint. Is that blink twice if you're being held hostage?
Okay, so I completely agree with you, Elif, in the sense that data, you are right. Actually, tracking, you are right. In fact, as an avid non-life tracker, I am always very interested in what pushes people to record their health information with their phones and then maybe compare it with other people's. I don't know what they do after recording.
Why would anyone compare?
For motivation.
Since you don't record your arms, you don't know this, but there is a leaderboard of everyone in the world, and we like keep track of it every week and race with each other.
Oh, actually, this reminded me. My smart band says you slept better than this % of people.
Oh yes.
To make you feel good.
I forgot about that.
You know, I completely agree with you, Isel, because when Isel first got her watch, I think she gave it to me for a few days so that I can check all the things you can do, like step tracking, sports, intensity, heart rate, those kinds of things. And I also remember that it used to say you have slept better than this % of people. It was very gratifying.
Was it great? Well, of course it was gratifying for you. So that's because we use the same band. Well, I don't use it anymore. In the past, I have never seen that percentage go up higher than 20%.
I was thinking the same thing. There is somebody in this world who looks at his or her phone in the morning and reads, "You have slept better than 0% of people."
That's I'm that person. Hello, nice to meet you. I have seen 1% couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when I was at university doing studio work.
And when you're not sleeping at all?
Only when I only sleep I got was the 15-minute nap on the table. Yeah.
Oh.
I think most stimulating part was the reason I got that band was to improve my sleep. And I think I went worse in that regard while I had the band. So those percentages kept getting worse and worse until I just stopped wearing the band.
I also got my watch to make my sleep better. But for me, it was to wake up, not to sleep better.
Oh, yes. But you know what, Binali, what you said reminded me. When I first bought my air fryer, I used to say, and I think I have said it in the podcast too, having potatoes in air fryer doesn't automatically make them salty. You need to add the salt separately. Similarly, by tracking your sleep, you don't improve its quality automatically. You also need to act on that information.
Turns out how little you sleep does not turns out knowing how you little sleep does not cure your insomnia. It's so interesting.
Stress you out more.
No, that's another thing. That band, I don't know if Isal said it, had like this is. I'm sorry. I'm already tangenting. We're not even 5 minutes in. I get tracking sleep. Okay, I get like tracking heartbeats. Like these are like tangible stats, right? That your body has. That band had a stat called stress that claimed to track your stress,
Yes,
which
I
Mhm.
I
have.
am just. I'm just like I am just curious about what is the model for stress. What is the like unit for stress? Like
I
where did that come from?
I have to add that. I have to add that according to that watch, I'm not stressed at all. But if you look at me, I'm stressed as hell.
I don't think hell would be stressed at all. Because like in hell you have nothing to lose. Everything is just
You lost already.
yeah, like how harder can you fail? You're already in hell. There's nothing to be stressed about.
That stress level thing was really out of whack. Like it did not match up to reality at all. I'm afraid.
No.
I mean,
No.
I am let me put a tangent to your tangent, which is a line. There's a scale that you step on in, especially in health clinics, and
Yeah, I'm obese.
It tells you if you are obese, Binali and I should kill ourselves. The scale actually tells you how much of your body percentage is fat.
Yes, I know that.
And
But-
obviously, it doesn't know that. What it does is it throws some electricity and looks at your impedance.
Yes.
If your doctor isn't, I mean, that's not necessarily a quality of doctorship. It is more of a how good you know about electrical circuits. But if your doctor says your fat changes your resistance, that's wrong. What it does is it changes your impedance, which is like not just
Yes.
resistance, but also your capacitance and inductance all combined into a single variable. So to our focus, probably stress is similar. It has this model that says if a person's heartbeat is like this in that amount of time, that person is stressed.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but
But
again,
it just shows roughly.
Like it can't measure your hormone levels.
no, it
Is my-
cannot.
Can it measure your breath? Like your breath movement somehow from
Are
your
you
arms?
asking whether your watch can measure your breath movements?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so. It can measure your blood oxygen level, maybe.
I don't think it was that fancy, so I'm gonna say no. I presume it like took your heart rate data and like compared it to your normal ones. Is what I'm guessing.
That's my guess too.
Yeah. Well, let me do the check while I have the watch on my arm and.
Oh my god! I can see my watch from here. I haven't worn it in a year.
And I will tell you what it does. Okay, I opened the screen and it went black, so I will open it again. I started it. It says remain still and put the screen upwards, and it says wear tightly.
So far, we haven't heard a single health statistic.
We are only hearing orders.
There's a circular progress bar. I'm guessing it's
Nice.
doing its thing. It's halfway there. Okay, it's going still. This does not sound as exciting as I thought it would be.
It's okay. In editing, we're gonna put
No.
here Mission Impossible music. It's gonna go crazy.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
Okay, it's done.
What I'm gonna do
Okay,
is I
it
am
says
gonna
that it says 28.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I guess it means I'm relaxed.
Strawberries, bananas, 28 watts. Like I'm your physics teacher in high school.
Here's the scale. One is like Charles Dance in that deer skinning scene from Game of
Oh, yes.
Thrones. So zero
Good
stress. We are perfectly
Good
fine.
scene, good chance dance.
We're perfectly fine. 50 is like Jon Snow in early seasons. He doesn't know what he's doing,
Oh.
and he's kind of stressed about life. 100
that's-
is like when you're watching the final season and you realize they just killed Night King, and you don't know what are they gonna do in the last 2 episodes. So it's very stressed. That's my scale.
Okay, so from good writing to bad writing, is about 30% good writing. That's good to know. Good to know. But let me ask. But first of all, let me say this about the Mission Impossible music, so that our audience at this point they will have already heard it, so they can understand what happened. I will make Izel hum the melody to a microphone, and then I'm gonna put it there.
Yeah, I don't think we can actually use the Mission Impossible music. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have misled everyone.
What you are hearing will either be Izel or some other friend of mine that I have tricked into doing this without understanding what I'm gonna use it for.
I don't know. I think we all should do it and harmonize it.
I don't trust in any of you in terms of music harmonization. So back to the regularly scheduled content. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm curious, which of you guys actually look at your sleeping statistics?
I
Like-
do.
Like currently?
I don't.
You do it is?
Currently. Yeah, I just need to open the app.
Well, I wanted to open the app, but I don't even remember where I left my phone. And I also remember that 2 weeks ago, my watch informed me that it hasn't been connected to the app on my phone for over 1 month, and it was full.
Ooh.
So I guess I'm not looking at it at all.
I cannot overstate how much this wasn't what I asked, Izel. But thank you for thank you for the information you shared with us.
What did you ask? Didn't you ask how much are you looking at your
No, I asked,
No.
sleep
do
data?
you track it or not? It was a yes/no question.
Oh, sorry.
No, but that's okay. That was good information. Like I said, our audience will. God damn it! Our audience will lick it up from the. Elif, what about you?
Wasn't Enes getting his data?
I tried some apps, but I was never really religiously using it.
So currently
started-
no, right?
Currently, no. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Currently, no.
Okay. Enes.
I have an app that I currently use almost 4 years. That
So you
I-
have
4
been-
years.
You have been using the same app for 4 years. Cool.
Yes. Same device, same app, same statistics. I use it, and
Did you get a new watch?
yes, I did get.
Okay.
The only new function is ECG, if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
if I'm correct. But
Yes.
ECG, yes.
Electrocardio.
Yeah,
something.
also the extra button. My watch is not
Ooh,
like
extra
a
button.
smartwatch, or yeah, it's not a smartwatch. It's like a semi-smartwatch.
It's a real cool thing.
Yeah, it's a hybrid watch. I always talk about it. Am I right? Like I talked it in several episodes, I guess. But the only thing, it has just an activity tracker, like from 0 to 100. That I set it as like my 10,000 steps. But other than that, I can track my workouts, my activity, my sleep, not slip. Yeah, those are the basic things, and it's sometimes hard to track. So other than that, it's just fine, and it's casually tracks. I don't think about it that much, but whenever I need, I can check it. That's how I use it.
What do you mean need? Why do you need it?
Does it require more space?
Like I track it because I like it. I track many of the things that I have. Like uh, I currently like saved all the writings that I did write in high school. So I can also check that. I will also want to. I also want my sleep data on my phone as well. That's one of the things that I like. Also, other thing is I'm trying to improve my health by increasing my activity. That helps in a way to see how it affects my sleeping. Also, what I can see how stressful I am also during the day, so how it affects my sleep as well. Also, I'm kind of improved my way of the like I have a different relationship with sleep that like it's my trait that I sleep early, like 7 p.m. Like I get sleepy. So I think also wake up really early. So with the smartwatch and app, I kind of set it in a way that I sleep. I wake up like I also use as an alarm that I wake up early and go to bed early as well. Like my early is now 11, but still, like go to sleep around 11 or 12. So it helps me to regulate my sleep. Also track my activity. That's the main functions of it.
So you sort of you use the information you obtained in order to make tangible differences to your life.
Yeah, it's not like a big step. Like it doesn't change it that much. But like I feel more motivated to track sleep regularly. Also, I really like to see. Oh, like also sometimes I can easily find the days I had some stressful moments where my life go bad. Like I also track some of the uh, times that we were preparing for a graduation project, as Isel said earlier. Like I can see those times. Oh, that was the time that we haven't slept at all, and it's fun to create memories. Like it's just like a photos app that you can only read some numbers. Like if you were a robot. I feel nostalgia while looking at the calendar. Like you don't know the feeling about it. Like, do you
No, you
cry
should.
while you like? It's like crying in front of an Excel file.
I mean, look,
I mean,
let's
I would cry before an example, but I was just thinking they should hire you for one of those like health tracker devices ads, and you should
yes.
finish the trailer with it's like a photos app that you just look at some numbers. That was a perfect line.
Look at this point, I feel like our podcast shouldn't be called Inconclusion. It should be called the Geometry Podcast. But I think that ad would be much more tasteful than the one that Apple had made.
Ooh.
Apple again. We should write Apple in our CEO, SEO. Yeah.
I would love to write Apple to our CEO. In fact, do we have some place we can write our CEO? We can write it.
It's
No, I get what you mean. By the way, Elif, do you feel like Enes was able to answer your question? Because I haven't heard your question, so I really don't know.
I mean, my question was about does the app have like are these data stored on your phone or is it on the cloud or where if it's on your phone does it make it too big the size of the app?
I can dedicate some of my data in my some of my I can dedicate some of my storage to this as a photos app. I I won't feel any uh like I don't feel bad about it, but like it also stores it on cloud, and I think like some of the data is on my phone that if I go back in the dates, it downloads at some point. But only the current data is on my phone, I guess.
Mhm.
Actually, the data is not that much. Like, because they're just numbers, not photos. The app doesn't like a huge amount of stuff. They don't use.
Photos are numbers too. I don't understand what you mean.
Yes.
How do you think digital storage works, Enes?
Because they're just numbers.
One on zeros.
Um,
Like, I feel like
I
a
mean-
robot.
I mean, it's just one and zeros. How many storage can there be out there?
We
but
made episode about this. Listen to that episode.
yeah,
we are full of throwbacks.
yeah. Because if all our 5 or so loyal listeners can also enjoy these throwbacks.
No, this is where we hook you in.
I want to get back to the numbers like photos thing. Do you feel like if those numbers were to disappear, like some data storage problem, how much emotional damage would that throw you?
I think I feel sad. Like, I won't. Uh, I can't even change the uh, brand of device that I use because
Mhm.
I don't want to lose those data. But I also like it also records into the health app kinda that I can still see maybe. But you mean completely lost? Oh, at one time that I changed my phone, I thought I lost that data, and when I opened it and saw it, it saved all the things in the cloud. And I when I got the new phone on, I felt relieved to see those data back there, and I think I will decide that's the answer of the question.
Oh, okay. Let me because I framed the question very incorrectly. I said, "Would you be upset?" Which is a stupid way of asking this. What I really wanted to ask was, I use Duolingo, the language learning, allegedly language learning app, and in it,
We are not sponsored by Duolingo, by the way.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah. But if but we
Not yet.
actually want to talk about Duolingo in a different episode. So Duolingo, in order to improve the content of that episode, you can sponsor us as quickly as you want.
That's extortion.
No, that's not extort. I mean, yeah, it is. It's a sort of extortion. I am putting that yellow green. I am putting that green all on a gunpoint.
If you also have some opinions on Duolingo, you can write to us and we may include them in the show.
Oh yes,
It can be
but
part of Inconclusion cinematic universe.
but
Bum, bum, bum.
the thing about Duolingo is I have a streak of like 720 days or something. And I feel like if that streak ever disappeared, I would be very disinclined to keep entering Duolingo because I know I would never be able to make another streak that long. So that's what I meant, Enes. What I was asking was if they somehow disappeared, would you be inclined to stockpile that amount of data ever again?
Like I think I'm not sure because I not only track my sleep data, my step data, or my activity. I also somehow started. At some point, I started uh, recording my calorie intake by writing all the things that I ate. Like, I was weighting all the things. I don't think it's a healthy thing to do that much. Like, I was recording my macro, like proteins, carbohydrates, and fats data. Oh, it was so like whenever I like at some days I stopped using it. I didn't feel like recording it, and I stopped completely afterwards. Like, but I kept my streak like maybe 4 or 5 months. But after that, I am not using that app. Also, maybe I need to switch that. But that's another thing. But still, I a little bit like I lost my streak, but I think if I change, I didn't. I stopped it because I don't like that app much. I don't like that app that much, but I'm also a little bit inclined to start recording that intake again with a different app. So your question answers as well as like yes and no at the same time. Like
Uh-huh.
whenever I stop recording or like it, it can be with an external reason that I stopped. I feel like less motivated to record it again. But even though I can start it again, it's not like that. It doesn't stop me that much. Like I won't even do that. I'm not like that.
Mhm. So I have this one last question before I mean, I will probably ask more questions down the line, but for this particular questioning, I have one last thing to ask.
By the way, like I also add a note. Like I'm not that healthy person. Like I'm not like a slim and like
I mean,
I'm fat.
slimness does not equal health.
Yes,
I mean,
I'm not like a generic healthy person that you'll see on your Instagram reels. That if you are interested,
those
like
people
those kind
aren't
of things.
healthy. Those people are show-offs.
Yes.
I mean, that they may be healthy as well, but I don't like. There's this. I actually don't want to talk about health at all. My health isn't in a great condition either. I mean, my health works for me. Is my summary of health. But let me first ask you this, Anas. What you are saying is you have access to some bodily information over a long time, and you use that information to try to improve your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think the actual, like is all the improvement in your life constrained within the app? By which what I mean is your app says you are doing great, but do you actually feel great even without the app also? Like, do you feel like you are sleeping better, or do you just feel like somebody is telling you that you are sleeping better? Does that make sense to you as a question?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
That's why I don't really look like I don't use that apps like obsessively that much. I don't see like I don't look at the device to see my sleep data of that night each morning. I don't do that. It's kind of obsessive thing, and I don't think like if you do that, you also need a psychological app to track your mental health, I guess.
That's not
So
a thing. That's not a nice thing either to say.
yes, that's why I'm telling. Like I don't think like it can be stressful to deal with many of that data if you are really into it. I don't think it's safe as well. Like that's why I don't like. I really like to track it and have it on my phone or my cloud. Whenever I want to see it, I can check it. That's that helps, but I don't see that. Not see, but
I mean, this isn't my
I
answer
don't
though,
look
so
it. Yeah,
I'll ask differently. Do
yeah.
you is all the improvement you see on your phone, or do you in your body feel better as well? Is my question.
I mean,
Let's work with an example. What do you think you have improved while using your health statistics?
I slimmed down a little bit. That's
Okay,
one of
that's
the things
certainly
that I
an
yeah.
observable body quantity.
Yes. I like dropped my weight.
Mhm.
Also, while I was tracking some thanks to Isel, I kind of tracked my workouts sessions onto a different app, but it's not like
Mhm.
tracking or so. Like I was manually entering the data, but I was also it kind of comes up with the calorie burns things, and it helps with the activity level as well. Uh,
Mhm.
that helped me to get better shape bodily,
Mhm.
which is can be also observable. But
Uh-huh.
those things like in this year, but there were sometimes like when I was looking the health data as well, like in those 4 years throughout, I can see my weight data. I wasn't obsessively tracking it. I wasn't uh, doing good with my weight, and I was not recording it that much. But with a general sense, you can see that graph changing throughout the years. I can see how stressful I was in which part of the year, and also actually it's more than 4 years now. I'm thinking it's
You are getting old,
is
Enes.
it okay? Maybe 4 years. I'm not good with years now. After COVID and stuff, I'm lost a little bit because I'm also getting old. I don't really tracking my years. I also need some tracking app for like it's calendar, but it's just calendar.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, how many apps are you using right now to track things?
Mhm. Like one is the my watch app that I don't use that much. Sometimes I like maybe once a week or sometimes in a month I look it up. I was using the color intake app that I don't even enter now. I also bought a is weight scale that measures that electric thingy which shows your body composition and stuff, but I don't think it's right. So sometimes I record like just look it up, but it's also one or two times a week. If it's now it's three. Also, the fourth app is my workout tracker app, but I can use my notes apps for that thing as well. I was using it before Isa suggested me to use it.
Mhm.
I was using just notes app, or people were using their notepads. But many of the people that I see in the gym, they don't even track any of those. I don't
Mhm.
understand why. They either have personal trainers or they just go blindly,
I
and I
mean,
don't.
I am a person who goes to the gym, doesn't have a personal trainer, and don't use tracking. So I'm the category that you would call a blind gymmer.
But I think the main thing is I really like to research about those things as well. Like even though like when I start going to gym regularly, like it was this year again, I was also researching about what to do. Like I was thinking about maybe train with a personal trainer, but I'm not socially like I feel socially awkward with that. I like I feel better on my own, and I was researching a lot and how to do things correctly and how to make create a plan for myself, how to like what to do and how it affects. And I think I research a lot. Also, it happens while losing weight. I was trying to regulate my diet, and I was doing a lot of research as well, how to properly eat in a way. So I was also doing that like years ago. I think it helps. I mean, the main thing is, if you are not researching about that, you kind of also blindly using what app says. You don't know that much. Whatever app says, it will be the truth for you. But if you know about it, app can kind of create a just it just it's just a reference that you can see, like the stress thing. Like if it's 28 or 30, what is the difference? If you know how stressed if you are in 28, you will know better about it. And when you get to 40, you will understand better the height of the level of stress you are currently having. So if you don't know yourself beforehand, you can't really compare the data. So that's the main thing, I guess. So if you are not well informed about those things, I don't think using those apps does just creates a false security or just falsely inform you. And I don't think that it's nice thing to have on your phone or just Apple Watch or stuff.
I think there's a different risk too when you are tracking your information about yourself. And it is called the sampling problem in control engineering. It is basically depending on how often you take samples of progress or how much samples you work with, or like how frequently you look at your body weight, for example, you may be getting wrong information, because if you weigh yourself over a week, some days might be larger, some days might be smaller. But what you would really need to be operating is maybe a week's average compared to a different week's average from 1 month ago or something like that. Like if you gained weight overnight or if you lost weight overnight, that's meaningless. The meaningful thing is difference in average over large periods of time. But that's very difficult to, as a person who is weighing yourself, maybe that might be something you forget and you feel very good or very bad about differences that doesn't matter while you are sampling yourself.
So in this sense, constant tracking of the variables is kind of nice thing to have. Like you don't. I think the way you should use those devices, you should constantly wear it, and by doing so, that those data is recorded. And I think the app should also gives you like they don't actually they should give information all the data as well to kind of say you're not a robot, like your weight changes throughout the day, for example. So but a simple race
Robots' weight changes over a day too. What do you mean?
yes, even robots can change.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it's like taking the topic to somewhere else, but has any of you used smart scales?
What's a smart
No.
scale?
I'm using it in a way.
What do you mean in a way?
Yeah, I bought it at some point. I used it like more than 1 month. Now maybe it's kind of it is the same time that I stopped recording my calorie intake as well. But whenever I start, I think start dieting again or change my diet again, I think I will use it again. But I've stopped after I stop thinking about my is regulating my calorie intake. It is the same time, but I was using before then, and I was using all like I was weighting myself each day to see the change throughout the week. Not like, oh, I got weight this day. It's not like that. It changed, like as John Dennis says, it changed throughout the week. So it shows a general graph of yours, how your, but like, I mean, yeah, basically, it just shows the direction you are going. Not like each day, it doesn't shows you that well.
Do you like the visualizations at all? Like, what would you like it to be changed in the visualizations?
Visualizations.
Yeah, of those graphs that you were mentioning.
Yeah, actually, I like to see those graphs. It's my hobby to check out those things. Like even without, even it's not a health related topics, I really like graphs. That's one of the reasons. But like even the apps kind of makes their UI and like why I'm defending those apps. I found myself in that position. I feel weird.
Mhm.
But even those apps, the graph changes when you are zooming in or zooming out. If you are zooming out, it kind of averages that information normally. So it shows the trend you are going. So if you are losing weight, generally losing weight or gaining weight or you are stable. But
Mhm. Mhm.
if you are going to zoom in, and you'll see that your weight is actually uh, changing throughout the week and goes up high and low throughout the day. Like, how can it be possible? You're eating many things throughout the day. You're drinking water, and you are also uh, how can
Digestion.
that digestion happens? Yes, that's the word. Digestion and digestion happens. Digestion happens at
The
some point.
digestion happens is a
If
good,
you're
like it's much better than the one Americans
Alternative.
use.
yes,
That's just.
yeah, and yes, digestion happens, and if you're healthy, more than once a day. So it also changes your weight. So how can it be other way around? Like even in a day your weight changes. How can it be not possible to change it in the throughout the week? But the main thing is you should track your 10 trends you are taking. Yeah. uh, yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
It's okay, Enes.
Okay, it's okay.
Like yes, you made your point. Don't worry. Everybody understood you.
Like it's meaningless. Yes.
I mean, most things are meaningless.
Like life.
I mean, like 10 billion years ago, nobody will care how much you weigh on the day that I'm not gonna say which day it is. But nobody will care in 10 billion years. So it's fine.
I hope so. I hope so.
I mean,
Like 10 billion years later, someone looks up my data.
oh yes, and then, oh no, Enes really let it go that week, didn't he? They are going to say.
I hope not.
I have one question actually. What would be your dream health app connection? Like overall, like all the data that connects to the one app, and what would look like a dream tracking app?
I think dream tracking app is the one you doesn't track manually anything. You don't say anything. It just tracks and
I agree with Enes.
yeah, you don't need to do many things. And you can casually check it and send it to your doctor or such.
I think the most cumbersome thing about self-tracking is that you would need to record things
Yes.
and like write them down to places and then remembering to put them down to the actual database.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's hard to get that habit or that routine to keep going. And like Anna said earlier, once it breaks, it's just sometimes it's just impossible to go back into it.
Indeed, like whenever I try to track something about my life, what happens is I start to get lazy and then like try to keep stuff in my mind, and keeping stuff in your mind is never a good idea when you are tracking.
No.
Mhm.
And that information disappears.
And when you get lazy with tracking too, so you cannot track the laziness. You cannot see the lazy patterns.
And there's this problem because we live in a, I'm not going to say it, because we live in a community where the cultural norms actually pushes us to behave in a certain way. That is to say, like taking care of your body or constantly improving yourself is considered to be meritorious behavior, virtuous behavior. It is very difficult to track yourself manually and see that you are failing and still keeping going. Like that, do you guys find this relatable? Do you feel like after weighing yourself a few times and seeing that you are garbage, it is very difficult for you to keep doing it on the following days?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why like gamification elements starts to come in, I feel like, in the app design itself overall. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, right now with the Pokemon Sleep app is a new one that I tried recently that utilizes only your phone's mic.
What the hell is a Pokemon sleep app?
You sleep and you
Yeah.
catch Pokemon with like how good you sleep.
Gotta catch them dreams. Gotta catch them sleep.
But the thing is, like, the bad sleep patterns are also specific. They're not considered bad, of course, but like it's a different type of Pokemon sleep pattern. And what happens is, if you want to catch them all, you have to, like, if you sleep well, you can't catch them all. So,
Oh my
That's-
god, I can market my sleeping patterns to people with good sleeping habits.
exactly.
They will come at my door and beg for the Pokemon for people who sleep 2 hours a day, and I will say no.
But I kind of liked it because it's like, in a way, even though I had a bad sleep, let's say, the next day when I woke up, I found these rare, at least for me, it was rare Pokemons that I don't usually get. So there was an interesting reward mechanism that was working for my bad sleep pattern.
If Aldous Huxley, the writer of Brave New World, heard what you just described, he would set himself on fire by pouring gasoline and then run on streets. This is
I mean, I don't
Hang
know
on.
if this is the intention, right? Like, I don't know if this is what they thought. I don't know if it's bad or anything. But for me, as a user, like that doesn't know how things were meant to be in the app itself.
Elif, first of all, of course they thought this would have been the case. This is the most predictable outcome. But like, I mean, what you are describing to me is dystopian. You are saying there is an app out there that relates your unlikeliness of your sleep patterns to catching Pokemon. They are literally
Exactly.
they are gamifying sleep instability.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I keep tracking, and it was fun. Like,
You're only tracking. Your health goes. Yeah, I mean, sleep.
I mean, yes, this is exactly the problem with gamifying health information. The point isn't to catch Pokemon.
You just pitched the exact problem as a positive to us. Do you not see the problem here?
yeah, true. yeah.
This is like if someone said, I put all of my private information on 9, and if I do something not liked, I can get arrested, and like try to pitch that as positive. Like, this is like if someone tried to pitch China's citizenship scores as a good thing.
I mean, the example I would want to give would be this month I am trying to go over 100 kilos because I'm trying to catch a different Pokemon.
I'm trying. I am trying to get to the top of the leaderboard in my mahalle.
Yeah. my child, you were such a healthy sports going person. Why are you eating lard all of a sudden? And then he replies, because I need to catch Pokemon, so I'm eating raw fat to get me there. Like,
To be honest, I was starting to think it that way. If that interests you, like, you can guys look into it up. But overall, if I remember correctly, there are 3 types of Pokemon sleep style. And one is, wait, let me quickly open it up and see. Dozing, snoozing, and slumbering. And snoozings are the ones that make noises during their sleep. Slumbering is like kind of deep sleep. Dozing is like you wake, like, you can't really sleep that well. At least that's how I, like, probably it's not how it is, but that's how I kind of like, dozing is the one that day that you couldn't sleep,
dozing means falling
You're
asleep in unlikely places or things like that, right? Like you are watching
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
and you sleep, and that's dozing
yeah,
off.
yeah. So like you're like, but you're kind of waking up, like it's not like a good sleep. You're waking up and then you're dozing off again, and you're waking up and you're dozing off again. So it's like for me, it's like bad day. But I started to get excited for dosing days.
So
Because I was like,
this is an intervention.
So you know, Elif, how there are some people in your life. You have some friends. I mean, I'm not saying you personally have those friends. I'm just saying such people exist. And then you go and tell them the most horrific story that a true friend should say, you shouldn't be doing this. And they're like, oh yes, girls slay. That app is that kind of friend. That app is enabling a bad behavior. I mean, I am not saying you should feel horrible about your sleeping patterns. And I am happy to know that you are happy, but it may be like, how can I explain this?
no, I'm not really using the app because the app itself is kind of slow and does not run that well. But I guess I used it for the first week that it was launched, and I've been using it for 3 weeks. And within the 3-week period, that started to how I feel. I guess like what you mean, like if you go back to the laziness and tracking, it definitely made me motivated to do something, even though I was feeling bad. And that the element of not how to wearing when you are sleeping, because I wear my smartwatch for tracking the steps too, right? And the battery doesn't last that long, and sometimes I have to charge it overnight. And when I'm charging it overnight, I cannot track my sleep. And then I start to have these like irregularities or missing data within the app itself, which my head has to be perfect and track everything, kind of like what Jenna said, in the ideal world. It directly made me unmotivated. Like, is that a word? Unmotivated? Like, unmotivated? Unmotivated. And wrong.
It's
Was it
okay.
suffix? No.
Grammar.
But yeah.
You need a grammar tracker.
Exactly. Which exists in the teams when you are on an online call over Teams. There is a speech coach that gives you a general understanding of your sleep, like speaking patterns. You can see how often you were saying or how often you were saying the words, or how long your monologue, which is happening right now.
No, that sounds like a personal attack. Tango, before we go too farther away from, I have to ask something about Pokemon Sleep. How does it track your sleep?
The microphone.
Because you said
it's tracking. It looks at this. So the data is recorded on your app. So not cloud based on your phone. Sorry, and you put your phone next to your pillow, not under your pillow. There's a important message there. Every night pops up, and then you see your QZ selected team lead sleeping. For me, sometimes it's like Pikachu and Charmander. It's cute.
Every next sentence makes this more creepy.
I'm sorry for interjecting.
It's listening to you. It's listening to you. But it records it during when there's like certain threshold of noises. And some peak over the collected recording, you know?
No, I just want to summarize it so like I got it fully right. You're saying that not only this thing gamifies like out of normal sleep patterns, but also asks you to put your phone right next to your head while you're sleeping in your bed while running.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a fire hazard.
Yes.
I have a different question on the similar.
It has to be on charge. It has to be charging.
That's not a fire hazard.
That's even worse. Elif, what you are saying is this thing tracks your voice, correct sound patterns.
Sound, yeah.
So,
but you don't see it just collects the sounds.
No.
So it collects the live data. It does not return. It does not record it.
I am gonna say something completely different. I think Binali, you and I, we understood this wrong. We thought all this time this app gamified your sleep instability. That's not true. What it gamifies is your sleep loudness. So basically,
Yeah.
this app rewards you if you aren't being a loud person while sleeping.
No, I tried that. Like, let me tell you, because I was like, okay, I will try that, and it didn't work. That's the thing. Like when I was loud,
You can't be not loud while sleeping, Elif. That's literally something you can't control. I mean, certainly not overnight. Like if you
I left a video open while I was sleeping, and it made it run. That was like somebody else.
I just don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, that's not a fire hazard.
they're much more dangerous. I am worried about you, Elif. You are describing an abusive relationship with your app.
This is this is scary.
This all happened in 3 weeks. I'm not using it. So it's not a problem.
I feel like the winters in Germany really has a bad influence on your psychology, Elif.
But yeah, I guess the gamification isn't the solution for laziness of tracking data.
So yeah, that tracks.
That was so natural.
I know, both entrance and exit very like just as I planned.
So this is the end of this episode. If you like this episode, please subscribe our social media channels, accounts, whatever they are, on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, Twitter, or LinkedIn, or you just write our Reddit subreddit. And also, please have a good time with your health. Not like. Also, please be careful with your health data. You can change it with that. I didn't want to mention all of the things, all the account names.
They're in the show notes. And also, if during the episode you heard something that doesn't make sense to you, you can look at show notes. I write the stuff that are references and things like that to show notes so that you can look it up whenever something you encounter doesn't make sense to you.